So when you die, your energy becomes other things. Flowers, deer. At some point, you're born again. But a little part of you is in the stars.
Say my name.
Breaking Banquet.
You're goddamn right.
Did you run over a dog? Was there any truth to it? What's your thoughts on adding $22 trillion in the national debt in the last 14 years? I mean, in the last 14 years, you've had Obama and Trump, and every president in the last 14 years has added to the national debt. It's kind of disingenuous to say it was all Democrats. Especially in the last 14 years, the House and the Senate were majority Republican. It's not currently majority Republican, it's majority Democrat currently, but like it's a mixed bag, and that's a very unfair statement. That's what I'm getting at. Let me tell you a secret here. Left wing, right wing, Republican, Democrat, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever clan you want to affiliate yourself with, Republican. It's two wings of the same bird, right? So pick an issue that you like or that you're for and vote on that. Don't get hooked up in the cult of personality, because they're all men. They're all men with ulterior motives. Am I vaccinated? Yes, I am. Gas was under $2 when Don was president, bud. We were also in the throes of a pandemic where nobody was allowed to leave their home. That's basic economics. Less people are driving and less people are moving around. That means less people are buying gas. When there's no demand for gas, you have to make the price to the point where people will buy the gas. You know, Bailey could have been president and got you under $2 a gas during COVID-19. Like, everybody wants to complain about gas. I grew up during George W. Bush, right? I was paying taxes under George W. Bush, and we had $5 a gallon here in South Carolina. I mean, but like, you know, it's always the Democrats that have high gas. The president has very little to do with gas. Gas is mainly done by companies offshore called OPEC, which is like a gathering of like oil companies from all over the world, which, you know, which America is not really a part of. They set the price for gas. Like, to sit here and say like, oh, the president did this, the president did that. The president has 1/3 of the control, right? Well, technically half, right? Because he has 50% of the power, because he can veto what the House and the Senate does. But he's 1/3 of the leadership control. He doesn't have the final say in everything. Their government's set up that way, so nobody can make any kind. So we don't have like a monarchy. The only way I get another cat is if I find a cat I just have to have. People don't want to believe that we're just, you know, ordered chaos, but that's what we are. Like, we are alive because everything lined up for us to be alive, right? And we live in an environment that for us to succeed, we have to have certain things like hearing, eyes. You know, that's why almost every animal on the planet has this same set of stuff on it, because this is what it takes to live in this environment. If you want a more beautiful take on this, right? Reincarnation. And when you say the term reincarnation, people think, oh, I'm going to come back as another human. No, that's not how it works. We know in a realm that energy never disappears. It only transfers, right? So when you die, you go into the ground, your energy becomes other things. Flowers. The flowers grow, it gets eaten by the deer. The deer gets killed, gets eaten there. You go into the human, you become poop. You go back into the ground as poop, you get eaten by worms. Your energy transfers thousands and thousands of times until at some point you're born again. But you won't know this. But a little part of you is in the stars, and it's in everything that's ever going to touch the earth. You're not afraid of death. You're afraid of the unknown. Just as when you were a kid, you were afraid of the dark, because you weren't afraid of the actual dark. You were afraid that there might be something in the dark that you don't know about and can't see, right? Nobody can tell us what death is like. So that's why there's entire cults and churches and religions built around it, because people are afraid of it. How do you overcome the fear of the unknown? You can't, honestly. Face your fears? I face my fears all the time, man. The scariest thing I've ever done in my life was have weight loss surgery. I've never went under the knife before in my life, and my very first time, I had to have a translator talk to the doctor for me in a Mexican hospital. I remember sitting on the hospital bed and writing down all my passwords and giving them to my mother just in case I didn't make it out of surgery. I was so terrified. I remember hugging my mama and sitting down in that wheelchair and getting wheeled all the way back. And when I got to the back, they had this Latin music playing, like, you know, the standard Latin music where it's like you see in like a Rambo movie or something like that. It's just like the siesta music, like you're about to have like a nice dinner or something. And they're all like laughing and chatting, and like the only person in the whole room that spoke English was the anesthesiologist. So I was talking to him because I was sitting there, I was naked, I was feeling afraid, and I go, what should I dream about? He goes, elephants. And I wake up in the recovery room. I've been pulled over twice by a cop, both times by the same cop in the same spot. I don't care about a hair transplant, man. I honestly don't. I'm a married man, and like I don't plan on ever leaving my wife, and I hope she never leaves me. I got pulled over one time for, I think it was 43 in a 35, and another one was 42 in a 35. Both school zones. And they were 7 years apart. Ellis, go get me some chili. No, Cat doesn't sleep with me. He'll come lay with me for a little bit. Like, we have this little rendition we do, like, I call it after dinner rubs. Like, he'll come lay on my side, and I'll watch my tablet, and I'll just pet him for about 20 minutes, and he'll lay there with me. And then he goes and sleeps in his bed. He has a bed. I don't think he sleeps with me because of Rocco. Like, I've been trying to like get Rocco sent out of the house, just trying to see if it would change. Like, we threw away all the old litter boxes and we changed the litter boxes so they're only Gray's litter box now. Because Grayson was the beta cat, but like he was totally the beta of the house. Rocco was the big dog. Worst airline in my opinion, Spirit Air. Well, first off, you can't dodge a DUI checkpoint because DUI checkpoints are unconstitutional. You're not required to travel through their checkpoint. What he did was he pulled you over without reasonable suspicion and was trying to hassle you to give him reasonable suspicion. No, I'm not saying that, Ellis. There's apparently this black like RT Charger that's got a 5.7 Hemi in it, and he just dogs on those police in Arkansas. Yeah. Cats' tongues feel spiky. All cats have rough tongues. Yeah, he's like 9 or 10 deep. Like he goes in, he covers his tag up, and he waits till a cop gets behind him, and he just guns it. Why are trailer parks filled to the brim with Mustangs? Mustangs are cheap. Like, Mustang was designed to be the working man sports car, and like they don't hold their value well. No, I had an EcoBoost Mustang. I mean, like technically, I could outrun a cop with the EcoBoost Mustang because mine had the performance pack on it. So it maxed out at like I think 134 miles an hour or something like that. And the cop cars around here max out at 120. But I wouldn't risk something like that. Running from the cops is a fool's errand. The Explorers don't, and that's what they have around here. They have Explorers. Wings, how do you quit porn? I'm addicted. Porn is more of like a play of people, you know, having sex. Like, that's not how actual sex takes place. I don't know when the PK episode is. No, not the Night Low swear. I'm probably going to end the stream soon. We just fell under 200 viewers. Ugh.